What does Dexter Morgan have in common with Hannibal Lecter? Both are brilliant killers, but while Hannibal devours his victims, Dexter follows a disturbing ethical code. Which one is more frightening? Leave your opinion in the comments, and let's discover together how Dexter's mind works so well, or so badly. Harry's Code, the cradle of his ability. When we talk about Dexter Morgan, it's impossible to ignore the impact of his adoptive father, Harry. He not only discovered Dexter's dark tendencies but also shaped them, creating a sort of manual that transformed a potentially impulsive serial killer into a calculating and efficient machine. This code is the foundation of all of Dexter's ability: physical, mental, and emotional. How it all began. Dexter was never an ordinary child. From a very young age, he displayed an uncontrollable need to kill. This compulsion, what he calls his dark passenger, could have turned his life into chaos. However, Harry, being an experienced police officer, recognized the danger and decided to channel this instinct into something manageable. Thus, Harry's Code was born. This code is more than just a list of rules. It's a philosophy that taught Dexter how to survive in a world that wouldn't accept his true nature. The main guidelines include: never get caught. The biggest sin for Dexter is leaving a trace. Kill only those who deserve it. His victims are criminals who have escaped justice. Maintain his social facade. Dexter must appear normal to everyone around him, ensuring he never raises suspicion. Training and acquired skills. Harry didn't stop at the code. He knew that for Dexter to survive, he would need to become an expert. Therefore, he trained his son in crucial areas. Covering his tracks, Dexter learned to clean up crime scenes with a precision that even the best investigators can't decipher. Emotional control. One of the most valuable lessons was teaching Dexter to control his impulses and not act on instinct. He became a master at hiding his true emotions, creating the perfect mask of an ordinary man. Forensic analysis. Working in law enforcement, Dexter developed technical knowledge that helps him stay one step ahead. He not only understands the evidence but also knows how to manipulate it to his own benefit. Psychological impact. Despite its usefulness, Harry's Code brought psychological consequences. Dexter lives in constant conflict between his need to kill and his desire to be normal. The code didn't erase his dark nature, but it helped him find a way to coexist with it. Do you think the code did more good or harm to Dexter? Would he be less monstrous without it, or just more uncontrolled? Harry's Code not only shaped Dexter's abilities, but also made him unique. He's not just a killer, he's a meticulous strategist, a predator with his own set of rules. And this duality is what makes him so fascinating. Now that you know the origin of his abilities, let's explore how his mind works and what makes him so dangerous. How Dexter's mind works. Dexter Morgan isn't just skilled. He's a calculating machine that operates with frightening precision. His mind works like a puzzle where each piece is masterfully positioned, and that's precisely what makes him so effective in his double life. The forensic expert who helps the police solve crimes and the methodical killer who lives in the shadows. But how does he manage to always stay one step ahead without ever being discovered? The mask of normality. One of Dexter's most fascinating characteristics is his ability to create a perfect facade. He's a social chameleon, adapting to different contexts with ease. Emotional charade. Despite not feeling emotions the same way most people do, he's learned to imitate them. Smiles, gestures, and even small displays of empathy are calculated to appear genuine. Roles played. As a forensic analyst, devoted brother, and even loving father, Dexter plays multiple roles that make him invisible to those around him. This control is an essential skill that allows him to go unnoticed, even when directly involved in investigations of his own crimes. Strategic intelligence. Dexter operates as a natural strategist. Before acting, he analyzes every detail, devising plans that minimize risks and ensure his identity remains intact. Studying his victims, he thoroughly investigates his prey, from their daily habits to their social connections. This ensures his attacks are precise and untraceable. Impeccable planning. He leaves nothing to chance. From the location where he'll commit the murders to how he'll dispose of the evidence, each step is carefully orchestrated. This combination of patience and calculation means Dexter rarely makes mistakes. He's like a chess player, always thinking several moves ahead. Logical reasoning and extreme focus. Unlike most people, Dexter can remain calm even under extreme pressure. Cold blood. He handles risky situations almost clinically, analyzing every detail while others panic. Unwavering focus. Once he sets a target, nothing distracts him. He channels all his energy into executing the plan, eliminating distractions and minimizing errors. This ability is especially useful when he needs to deflect suspicion, whether at work or in his personal life. Technical knowledge. As a blood spatter analyst, Dexter uses his profession as a powerful weapon. He knows how the justice system works and, more importantly, how to manipulate it. Use of forensic science. He understands how evidence works and knows precisely how to prevent it from being used against him. Manipulation of investigations. Being directly involved in crime scenes, he can influence the direction of investigations to divert attention from himself. The predator mindset. A fundamental part of how Dexter's mind works is his view of himself as a natural predator. He observes his victims with the precision of a hunter, anticipating their movements and exploiting their weaknesses. This perspective helps him maintain control, even when it seems the walls are closing in. He doesn't act on impulse. He waits for the perfect moment to strike, becoming virtually unstoppable. The internal dilemma. Although brilliant, Dexter isn't immune to internal conflict. He knows his life is a charade, and at times, he seems to struggle against his own nature. This conflict between the monster and the man is what makes him even more fascinating. He's not just a killer, he's someone constantly trying to justify his actions and find purpose in his darkness. Dexter's mind is like a labyrinth, full of carefully planned traps and exits. His strategic intelligence, combined with his emotional control, makes him a practically invisible threat. But does this perfection have a limit? That's what we'll see in the next section, when we explore whether Dexter has something beyond human ability, as if he were a superhuman hiding among us. Dexter Morgan, the killer with powers. Although Dexter Morgan doesn't have supernatural powers in the literal sense, the way he operates can easily be compared to heroes and villains with special abilities. After all, he always seems to be ahead of everyone, as if he has something beyond his intelligence and training. Can we consider Dexter a kind of gifted human? Let's explore what makes him so special. A radar for evil. One of Dexter's most intriguing characteristics is his almost supernatural ability to identify other killers. He seems to sense when someone around him shares the same darkness he does. Sharpened instinct. This radar is the result of years of observation and interaction with criminals. Dexter understands behavior patterns that most people don't even notice. Dark empathy. By sharing the same dark nature as his victims, he can understand their motivations and anticipate their actions. This ability, while not a superpower, functions as a kind of sixth sense, putting Dexter in a unique position. Exceptional physical strength and endurance. Although Dexter doesn't have extraordinary physical powers, his strength and endurance are noteworthy. Hidden training. His double life demands that he always be in excellent physical shape. He needs to be strong enough to subdue his victims and agile enough to escape dangerous situations. Controlled adrenaline. In high-pressure situations, Dexter seems to release an absurd amount of adrenaline, temporarily enhancing his physical abilities. He may not be a superhero, but his ability to maintain control and act with precision in critical moments is impressive. Near photographic memory. Dexter displays a detailed memory that borders on inhuman. He not only remembers faces and events, but can also connect seemingly irrelevant information incredibly quickly. The mind of a strategist. His ability to remember and process information is what allows him to plan each step with surgical precision. Real-time analysis. Even in the heat of the moment, Dexter can analyze situations and create strategies instantly, something many gifted fictional characters also do. This near-perfect memory puts him a step above most people, always keeping him one step ahead. A psychological power. The absence of empathy. Dexter doesn't feel empathy. That is, he can't put himself in other people's shoes and understand their feelings. This, which for many is a weakness, is Dexter's greatest strength. Without fear or guilt, he thinks clearly and makes cold decisions, always following logic. He acts like a surgeon, planning everything down to the smallest detail. This coldness makes him a master manipulator. He feigns emotions, forms false friendships, and uses people's feelings to his advantage. It's as if he's playing chess with his victims' minds, always anticipating their next move. Because he's so cold, he never panics, even in danger. Is Dexter like a superhero or a villain? It's hard to say. He resembles Batman. Both have double lives, plan everything, and are highly skilled. But Batman fights for good, and Dexter just wants to satisfy his urges and control his dark impulses. He also resembles Hannibal Lecter. Both are intelligent killers. Hannibal is sophisticated and arrogant, while Dexter is simple and operates in the shadows. Who would be smarter, Dexter or Hannibal? What do you think? Dexter's double life. Dexter is a master at hiding his secret life. He manages to be a forensic specialist for the police by day and a ruthless hunter by night. His secret? Total control, well-crafted lies, and attention to every detail. How does he fool everyone? Dexter knows he needs to appear normal. He strives to be like everyone else. He talks to his colleagues, takes care of his sister Deborah, and even starts a family. He acts ordinary, almost boring, so that no one suspects. This normal life is a mask to hide his dark side. The perfect job for a killer. Being a blood spatter expert for the police is the best cover for Dexter. He knows everything about investigations and uses this to erase his tracks and frame others. No one would imagine that a cop who hunts killers is actually one of them. Routine of an organized killer. Dexter has rituals to avoid getting caught. He chooses deserted locations to kill, prepares everything carefully, cleans the crime scene, and hides the bodies. He plans every detail to leave no clues. Manipulating feelings. Dexter doesn't truly feel emotions, but he knows how to use them to deceive. He pretends to be vulnerable to gain people's trust and use them as shields, like his sister and co-workers. They are manipulated without knowing it. The price of lies. Living a lie is tiring. Dexter has to work hard to keep up appearances, and this stresses him out. He feels alone, even when surrounded by people, and lives in fear of being discovered. Dexter, monster or genius? Dexter is an intriguing character. He's a killer with rules, seeking control amidst chaos. He makes us think about good and evil and shows that danger can be hidden in ordinary people. What do you think? Does Dexter control his impulses, or is he controlled by them? Leave a comment. See you in the next video.